Number 7, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Maya Fey. Prosecution's ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin, then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicide down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. We'll use this floor map at the office to explain. Body was found by this window, here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. We're still calling it a statue. Okay, floor plans. Okay. Now, Detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Tell me about your hard evidence, Mr. Right, Maya Fey's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. They immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Ms. Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Let's examine what? I don't see a single contradiction in my testimony. Whoosh. Crack. What? Hey, Maya just threw something at me. This. When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. Or lots of times. I'd have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Alright. As soon as the phone call came in, you rushed to see an hour in your presence. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. Did you? Did you really? Didn't we determine already that the window was a little far away to make out details too clearly? Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Oh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? In pink? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Ah. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Hard. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Hold on a second. She died instantly. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor, why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know, I'm real embarrassed. I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay. Okay. Memo. Sure. Killer written in blood. Show that the blood was the victim. Correct. Also, there's blood found in the finger. Yes. Victim wrote the killer's name. Hold on 1 second there. Death was instantaneous. Objection! Detective Gumshoe. Am I liking the game? It's alright. There's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey? That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim isn't the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from blunt object. She died immediately. But... no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order, order. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. One of the best games ever made. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? I forget. We actually do forget. The day... hold on, I don't know. What does it say? 9/5, today 9/7. It would have to be the day after, because she was murdered, like, at 10 p.m. With the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being, hasn't been entered into... That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? The second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. Let's see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Edgeworth. The detective's a sham. I'm a sham. I mean... I'm a sham! No. Alright. Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing we won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. Court accepts the evidence. Autopsy report update. Okay, so, died from a blow by a blunt object. May have lived for a few minutes after being hit. Well, Your Honor. The evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying a killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please. April May. At your service. Order. An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Oh, yes, Your Honor. It's not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Alice, where were you on the night of September 5 when the murder occurred? Gee, I was, in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices? That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the Mouser girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kind of slumped. In the end, that's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. Well, Your Honor? I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness' testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia's Faye's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. A cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes, I'm doing it. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Hold up, so what do I actually have? It was like 9 o'clock at night. I looked out the window, you know? And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. Hold on, what do I got? Okay, so I want to press her on this because we already know that she really shouldn't have been able to see who it was. How do you know she was the defendant? Oh, well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony's bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. He's not right. I question the testimony. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Ms. May, I'm willing to bet that... She saw something, but she didn't see what she said she saw. She's lying. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless about this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness' testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But... Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Rawr. What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think at all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, the kind of statuey clock, the thinker, I think? Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Okay, so who told her it was a clock? Still being referred to as a statue. Okay. Hold it. Clock. Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. Fuck. I guess I have to present it. Maybe. Objection! Ms. May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, naughty Mr. Lawyer? You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock, too. And he was found guilty of murder. Order, order. Ms. May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. Questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Whew, that was close. If you stop me there, the trial will be over.
Oh, what? So, what happens now?
What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock?
What? That's... because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time.
So, you've been to the law offices of Fay & Co.?
No, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room.
The law offices of Fay & Co., where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No. No, Your Honor. Can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because she couldn't have heard it. You were at the hotel. There's no way you could have heard a clock go off in the building next door. You have proof that she could not? Yes. Amateurs, amateurs. Listen to me, Mr. Wright. In the courtroom, proof is everything. Without it, you have nothing. You are nothing. And I would like to propose a test to see if she really could have heard. The prosecution denies your request. What? On what grounds? This is a trivial matter with no direct bearing on the case at hand. Indeed. Objection sustained. Damn, time to switch directions. Quick. Ready to proceed, Mr. Wright? No, Your Honor. Can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... Wouldn't have rung? Work? Right, she took everything out! That was in, Here. The clock isn't talking. Yes. Couldn't have run. Your Honor, members of the court. It is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. What did we say? It was because... Okay, it's not working. I had to take the clockwork out. The paper's inside. Okay. It's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look, right now. Oh. Say anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty.